Welcome back to Mr. Norman's math videos. Today, I'm going to do something new. We are recording in front of a live studio audience. Today's lesson will be on 5.2. Today's lesson will be on 5.2, and we're just dealing with percents. So let's get started here. I have to bring in a guest today, and the first guest on Mr. Norman's math video is going to be none other than the greatest basketball player to ever live, Mr. Michael Air Jordan. Give it up for Mr. Michael Air Jordan, folks. All right. So how are we going to use a picture of Michael Jordan to figure out today's lesson on percents? Well, it's very simple. This picture right here, we are going to call this the original. This is the original size, the original image that I copied off of Google Images. You're going to take this picture, this original, and what I want you to realize is this is the whole picture. This is the whole thing. So another way of thinking about that is we can say that this picture is actually 100%. I want you to wrap your head around that. This whole picture is 100%. Okay, so you got to wrap your head around that image. That's the whole picture. The original image is considered 100%. Okay, so let's look at this. Now, I've taken the original, so right here from this slide, I've now placed them in the middle here. So that's the exact same size as it was on the original. So what is the percentage? Audience, anybody tell me what's the percentage for the original? 100%. Good job, studio audience. So I'm going to put 100% really badly here as I try to do that. Okay, now here's where we have to figure this out. The smaller version, actually this is half the original size. So what do you think the percentage would be for half the original size? 50%. Hey, 50%. You guys are smart studio audience today. 50%. Now, here's the tricky question. The larger image is actually twice the original size. If it's twice the original size, what percentage do you think that would be, studio? 200. Oh, in unison. I love it. You are correct. We got to wrap our head around the original being 100%, and then if something is smaller, the percentage would be less than 100, and if something's bigger than the original, it's going to be bigger than 100%. Do you guys get that idea? Yeah. Perfect. Well, let's go take a look. This goes back to our lesson yesterday. 53%. Anybody care to tell me from math's lesson yesterday, what is 53% as a fraction? Go ahead.
53 by 100.
53 out of 100. Because remember, a percentage is always out of 100, right? So everybody sees that. It's 53 over 100. Yeah. Can anybody then take this fraction and change it back into a decimal for me? Vince. 0.53. My studio audience is actually eating right now, so that's why that was a little muffled. 0.53. You remember that from yesterday's video. Good job. Now, take a look. Notice here, what's in this fraction, 53/100ths, what's the actual mathematical term for the number 53, the top number on a fraction? What's that mathematical term?
Numerator.
The numerator. And in this case, the 100 would be called the denominator. Good job, studio audience. Look at this. You know what makes this a very easy question? Is that the fact that the numerator is actually less than the denominator. And that makes it very easy for us to work with. But take a look at this next example. 230%. What jumps out at you right off the bat about this question? What makes this confusing?
It's above 100%.
It's above 100%. We haven't dealt with anything like that yet. All right, but go back to this right here. This seemed pretty easy for you guys. If the original Michael Jordan picture is this, and I said this is twice the size, you guys were able to easily say 200%. So let's see if we can use that knowledge here. So what would be our top number in our fraction? Take a guess.
230.
You are actually correct. Remember, that percentage, that's the exact number that's going to go on top here. Now, percentages are always out of what?
100.
100. So this number is going to go on the bottom. Okay. Now, here's where it gets very tricky. The numerator is actually larger than our denominator in this case. Over here in this previous question, since the numerator is less than the denominator, we instantly wrote 0 point, and we figured it out. But guess what? Can we do that when our numerator is bigger than our denominator? No. So guess what? It's not going to be 0 point. Does anyone want to take a guess at what it's going to be?
2.3.
Oh, 2. You are a smart studio guest. It's going to be 2.3 or 2.30. It's the same number. It doesn't matter as long as you have that 0.3 there. Very good. Go over here. Now let's actually look at this as a question. We're going to take a look at this as a question. Here's a question for you. Look at this. I used that awesome read-write function on Google Docs the other day that I learned about. I apologize. Here we go. For the cough there. Let's just read this question. It says, the cost for a store to buy a winter coat from a supplier is $80. You guys get that? Like when Sport Chek sells a Nike coat, they buy the coat off Nike and they pay a certain price for it. Okay? Do they sell you, the customer, for the same price they buy it from Nike? No, they got to pay rent. They got to pay their employees. So they mark up the price. Well, the store here wants to make a profit, like every private sector company does. So they mark the coat. Look at that beautiful picture of a coat, by the way. They mark it up 230% of what they paid the supplier for it. Anybody want to take a guess at how you would figure out this problem? Well, we have to change 230% to a decimal. What would 230% be as a decimal? We learned that in the previous slide. Oh, what is it? 2.3. We're going to use that knowledge now. So what was the cost of the coat originally that the store paid for it? $80. So we're going to take our $80 and we're going to actually multiply it by our decimal. What did we say 230% works out to be as a decimal?
2.3.
2.3. So if I multiply 2.3 by my 80, that should give me the cost that it cost the customer. So I'm just going to go over here really quick, pull up my calculator. That's one of you guys can help me out. What is 80 times 2.3? Go ahead, studio audience. 184. So guess what? The coat costs, say, Sport Chek, $80. They sold it for you at a markup of 230%. So how much money did Sport Chek actually make off this coat that they sold you? That's a good question. They bought it for 80. They sold it for 184. How much money did they make?
104.
They made 104 bucks, but they sold it to you for 184. Do you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. So here's my question. I'm going to leave this question. I changed the numbers around. Answer this question. Comment on Edmodo. Have fun with it. Basically, the only difference is different coat costs the same company $60 to buy from their supplier. They ended up marking it up 250%. I want to know, what does it cost you when you get to the till? Sounds good? Hey, audience, thanks for taking part. Say thank you to Michael Jordan. Give yourself a pat on the back. All right. You guys go have a great recess. Good job.
Tyler said it was better.